Previously on Sisters at Stars Hollow.
She offers cheese as a snack.
Just do your chores.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun. You.
Bob Bunyan.
2000s Disney teen heartthrob Chad Michael Murray.
Double. Boiling trouble.
Your mom's a fruitcake.
It's not right.
Spooky moment.
It was great that Nicholas could be here. He is gone now, unfortunately. But
there's no surprise entrance bonus third episode. He is not here anymore.
we are sad.
We are sad.
But hopefully he can come back and visit us again.
Yes, he will, for sure. It was definitely a ton of fun having him on those last two episodes.
Yeah.
I'm glad it worked out on those two episodes.
Why those two specifically?
Because they're fun episodes. They're not like super intense. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Like they're not like diving really intensely deep into some character's background or something.
Yeah. And it wasn't like depressing, you know. The last three before that were like fighting.
It's like the one at the hospital. They're at the hospital the whole time.
Hospital.
It's like, what is this show? Like I thought it was something else.
Exactly.
This episode, I thought it was kind of weird. I don't know. The whole time I'm like, this is weird. I have to tell you, like,
no,
there were just multiple times where I was just like,
I was going to say to you, I was really wanted to know what you thought of this episode, and I wasn't sure if we should talk about it an hour later, but I'll say,
to you.
I mean, we'll get into it, but let's talk about some just initial upfront things now.
Okay.
This is one that I, like, skip a lot.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I find it so cringy. What happens when I think of this episode, I'm like, oh, I cringe. Like I have like an actual physical like cringe response. And I think I skip it a lot because I'm like, oh God, that one. I just like makes me, I'm like embarrassed for like, Rory. And like, obviously I get pushed a lot of Gilmore Girls content online just because of what we do. I like to read what people are saying. And there was something about this episode that came up. And there was people commenting back and forth, and like some people do feel how I do about it being like cringy and like what is Rory doing? And then there's others that are like, no, she's making a joke of it. And I'm like, no, I don't think she is. I don't think she is.
I was trying to like well, we can get into it more when we get there, but I don't think it is. I don't think she was making a joke.
Yeah.
But just my overall that was a big part of it, but just also there's other things that happened in this episode too that like just made me have this reaction of like, what? I just feel like I had that reaction a lot.
Yeah.
In a lot of spots throughout the episode. Yeah, not even just that one.
There's other things that are happening where I'm also like, I'm with you. I think I'm probably thinking the same thing.
Characters are not maybe acting like what makes sense or just different. They're saying things that I'm just like, what? I don't know. I just had this like, what kind of reaction to things in this episode.
That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. And I was really curious how you were going to respond to this.
Yeah, definitely it's a discussion point for sure.
For sure. This one has some, okay.
Here we go. I'm like rubbing my hands together. I'm like, let's get into it. Let's discuss. Let's debate.
This one definitely has that. So yeah, well, before we start, we got to discuss our coffee.
You're right. We almost forgot. I mentioned this in our first coffee break that we recorded. But,
yes. If you guys haven't gone and listened to that, that's a fun little mini episode we do.
Yep.
Where we just chat.
Right. But I like putting hot chocolate in my coffee, and I did that today. That sounds delicious.
So that's what I have. I did not. I also really enjoy that, but I did not because actually this morning I ate a caffeinated granola bar.
Okay, I want to know more about this.
Yeah, so I found this using Thrive Market. I subscribe to Thrive Market. This is not anything other than...
We're not sponsored.
We're not sponsored. I'm literally just, this is my life. I subscribe to Thrive Market, and I found on this company, it's called Quantum, and they make caffeinated granola bars. It has like 100 milligrams of caffeine in the granola bar. And I was like, okay, two things at once here. I can have like my morning granola bar quick and also get my bump of caffeine. There's a lot of mornings where it's hard to like get the coffee going and get something to eat.
Yeah,
that
can be a lot going on.
Yes. So I was like, this could be good. Let me give it a shot. They're okay.
Okay.
I'm not like, yeah, this is it. Like, they're fine. Nah.
Okay.
They're okay. But I will say on that same vein, have you ever had awake chocolate?
No.
Similar thing. It's caffeinated chocolate.
Okay.
And when I was working my corporate job about 5 years ago now, and I did not really drink coffee at this time. Again, I've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
But gosh, those afternoons, it's that 2 o'clock slump that hits you.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's always
You're at the office.
Yes, it's always 2
It's 2
o'clock.
p.m. It's just like, oh God.
3 more hours.
Yeah, like that time between 2 and 5 is sometimes just like the longest. Just like
yes, the time goes by so slow. You like, oh my God, at least like 20 minutes must have passed. It's only been one. It's only been a minute. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's bad.
But anyway, the company that I worked for had a little market downstairs where you could buy things, and they had awake chocolates. And I was like, oh, this is intriguing. And I looked at it, and the way that they sold it just there was like these little mini chocolates that was equivalent to half of a cup of coffee. And again, I didn't really drink much at the time, so I'm like, this probably would do me good. And I would eat those and perked right back up. And so I would do those periodically. I would have an awake chocolate.
Yeah, maybe I should stock up on these things. It's funny that you bring up the 2 p.m. slump because when you were describing the granola bars, I literally was thinking, oh, maybe that could be good for my
2
afternoon.
slump.
Yeah, like my afternoon.
Yeah.
Because I drink coffee in the morning and it's not a big deal. Like I usually have access to it in some way, shape or another. But like I get that slump and I like to drink a Diet Coke in the afternoon to help with like a little boosty, but a snack would also work.
Little snack.
Switch it up.
So I had that this morning.
So you're saying you had caffeinated food today?
I did. So I had caffeinated food. And right now I'm just sipping a little bit on some Stoke Cold Brew. Clearly I like that. I've mentioned that many times now at this point. I like the Stoke Cold Brews. So
good
that's
stuff.
what I got going on for me today.
Stuff.
And I don't think they really mention coffee in this episode at all.
You're right.
And there's usually like a mention of it somewhere.
Wait.
Oh.
They did mention it.
Wait, where?
I know where they mentioned it.
Where?
When Babette comes over to ask
You're
about the babysitting, she gets offered coffee.
You're right.
Boom.
You did find it.
Boom. But it's not mentioned at the cafe, I don't think.
The diner?
Or the diner. I meant the diner.
It's not. Now I'm like, now that we're talking about this, I'm like, yeah, they definitely mention it every episode. So if it's not mentioned, that's upsetting. That's like...
It's funny. I hadn't been like clocking like, oh, there's a coffee mentioned here, but like, I mean, it clearly is. But now I'm going to pay more attention to that.
Pay more attention to that. Alexandra, you can be on Coffee Watch.
Okay.
Coffee
Watch. I like that too. Yeah. Okay. I'm on it.
Oh, it's kind of like...
I know what you're thinking. It's like the pineapples in Psych.
Yes.
Doesn't that show have a pineapple in every episode?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Yeah, if you've ever... I don't know. There might be some people listening that know what we're talking about.
That show. Like that's a good show.
Julia loves that show.
I love that show. It's one of my all-time... It's in my top 5 with Gilmore Girls. Probably top 3.
Nice.
So, but yeah, you're on Coffee Watch. See when it pops up in Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, I'll be paying attention.
All right, guys. Well, let's get into it. I'm Julia.
I'm Alex.
And this is Sisters in Stars Hollow, Season 1, Episode 14, That Damn Donna Reed. So the episode opens and we are at the Gilmore house and Dean is entering the house with pizza. The girls are in the living room watching TV. They call to Dean to join them and they're watching the Donna Reed show. It's this old show from back in the day, black and white show about a housewife. I don't have the exact description just based on this Gilmore Girls episode. That is what this show is about. Dean sits down, both Lorelai and Rory are like, what's that? And you see that he brought salad to eat. And they were like, ugh. What? And he's like, I mean, it's nice. It's nice sometimes to eat a salad before pizza. They're just like, oh. And he's like, I guess that's just for me. Just for me.
Yeah, he just takes the whole salad. Like, okay, that's fine. To be fair, salads from pizza places are usually not that
real
great.
Salads. Oh, wait.
It's like not good. Have you ever seen the Family Guy skit where they're making fun of pizza salads from...
No.
Or pizza salads. What am I talking about? They're making fun of salads from pizza places.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, they're like, the joke is like, what? Without, I'm not going to try to reenact the skit, but like the joke is basically like they always come with like, the things aren't like cut correctly. It's like a quarter of a tomato is in it. Like, why? Yes. Like, that's what it, like they make fun of it. It's like, why is that? But it's always like the pizza place salads are like that.
Pizza place salads are basically covered with like pepperoni, mounds of cheese, and half a tomato.
It's like confusing toppings. Like that's the joke. It's like, really? Like, I don't.
And those like little weird green peppers.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Are those like pepperoncini peppers?
I don't even know. I've never
think that's
had
what-
one. I always pick
they're
them
like
out.
spicy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not jalapenos. They're like the pizza
No.
place peppers.
The pizza place peppers.
Yeah. But anyway, no, but they're having that reaction, I'm assuming, because they're like, what? That's a healthy food. Like,
Exactly.
why would we eat healthy food?
They're watching the TV show. Dean asks, who is Donna Reed? And they're like, what? You don't know Donna Reed? The quintessential perfect 50s mom with the quintessential perfect 50s family? Never without a smile and high heels? And Dean's like, so it's a TV show? And they're like, it's a lifestyle, it's a religion. And then Rory says, my favorite episode is when their son Jeff comes home from school and nothing happens. And Lorelai's like, yeah, and when Mary the daughter gets a part-time job and nothing happens. They're like, this is classic. We love those episodes. Dean's like, okay, well, what's this one about? And it is about when the husband, Alex, comes home late for dinner and doesn't call. The girls are just kind of doing their own dialogue on top of the show. They're not actually listening to what's happening. There's a scene where the mom and daughter are window washing. They're just like, I don't know.
Like making up dialogue to make fun of it. Can I just, here's what why are they watching this? I don't understand why they chose to like, oh, it's our Friday night TV time. We're going to invite Dean over and let's put the Donna Reed show on. Which they clearly are like, this is stupid. Like the whole premise of this person's life, like they don't get it. They're just like, I don't know. It just confused me of like, why
like,
are they even watching
yeah,
it?
do they actually enjoy it? It doesn't seem like they actually enjoy it.
Right.
So
That's my point, is that they don't like it. Like they think it's like when when they're asked about it, all of their responses are sarcastic. It's like nothing happens in this show. And also, you know, as things go, they clearly think that it's like not a fair like representation of like, you know, a family dynamic and stuff. So I'm like, why are you watching it? Why is this your Friday night pizza? Let's watch Donna Reed. Like, I was just confused.
I don't know that I have an explanation. They watch all these old TV shows and movies and things.
Okay.
And this is something I've questioned watching this show, watching Gilmore Girls. I'm like, why? Why are they watching that? Like, there's always... Because this happens. They're watching different old movies and TV shows. I mean, the most normal was Willy Wonka. Like,
yeah, that was
heard of that, you know, and it's like, oh, okay. I'm telling you, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see, because I don't know this detail exactly, but it comes up where it's like they're watching these like different things. And some things I'm like, that just seems like what? Like, no.
Like,
just like, no,
just
you know?
no. Yeah, I don't know. It just confused me.
It's confusing, but only way we can have this episode.
Yeah, they were watching it so that we could, so it could create the conflict of the episode. Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right. So Dean's like, you're not even listening to like what's happening. And they're like, our dialogue is better. It's better than this. He's like, okay. He's just like, I don't know. This kind of seems nice to me. You know, a family hanging together, a wife cooking for her husband. I mean, she seems really happy. And they just look at him like, she's medicated and acting from a script written by a man. And Dean's like, okay, but what if she likes making donuts for her family and keeping things nice for them? And the girls just stare at him. And he's like, okay, I feel unpopular right now. They flash back to the TV and show a clip of Donna Reed saying she's no longer upset that her husband is late for dinner because now he's just early for breakfast. And they flash back to the girls staring at Dean like, what do you think of that? And he's like, I'm not saying anything. I'm not talking anymore this evening because clearly we have differing views on what's happening right now. And then it fades to the intro song. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Fade into the intro and fade out. Lorelai and Rory are walking into Luke's, and Rory is questioning if brains can hurt. Rory says that last night when she was reading her biology chapters, she distinctly heard a ping in the vicinity of her brain. Lorelai's like, your brain pinged? And she's like, yeah, it went dink. And Lorelai's like, well, then your brain dinked. It didn't ping. Rory's like, that's not better. Do I need to call a tumor doctor? What's going on? Like, what's happening? And Lorelai's like, no, I think you're just reading too much. Chill out. Or you're losing your eyesight. I don't know.
Yeah.
One of the two.
You're probably just reading too much. It's fine.
Luke walks over to take their orders, and Lorelai says to him, can you take some constructive criticism? Luke is like, no, of course. And
Yeah.
Lorelai says, well, I think this place could use a little makeover, a little bit of paint, some sprucing. And Luke says he doesn't spruce. And then all of a sudden, Taylor turns around. He was sitting there, and you didn't even know. He was sitting at the diner bar, and he turns around and he's like, he won't spruce. The rest of the town beautification committee has been hounding him for years to freshen up this place. Put out some zinnias, yellow awnings, a peppy little cardboard pig announcing the specials. But he just won't do it. And there's no reason he won't spruce. And he goes on to say, like, faded paint reflects poorly on the town. When standards slip, families flee, and in comes the seedy crowd. It's like such an over-exaggeration of like people aren't going to flee because Luke's diner needs some new paint. It's like, just so funny. But Lorelai keeps pushing it on Luke, like, why won't you paint? And Luke says he hates painting, and there's all these reasons why he doesn't want to do it. And Lorelai says, but I love to paint, and I can help you. And she's like, it'll be fun. We can grab a couple beers and sing painting songs. Luke is like, painting songs? And she says, yeah, you know, painting songs that go like, grab your brush and grab your rollers. All you kids. It makes me laugh every time. But I'm going to get it through.
Get through it. Get through it.
Get through it. Grab your brush and grab your rollers. All you kids and all you bowlers. We're going painting today. And she's like playing her fork on the table.
like playing an instrument.
And then she's like, say yes or there's another verse.
I think I missed that. When she says, say yes or there's another verse.
It was so good. That whole thing is like my quote of the episode.
Okay. Nice.
It's so funny. It makes me laugh every time. We're going painting today. It's so good.
Painting song.
But then Luke agrees, and then Taylor's like, yeah, hurrah, yes. I can't wait to go tell the committee, and runs out of there. And Luke's just like, oh, God.
Can I say what Luke says here?
What does he say?
Goes, I hate that he's pleased. And he has like squinty eyes. And then Lorelai goes, don't worry, you can drop a gum wrapper in the middle of the street in front of the store later. Yeah, I wrote that down. I'm like, okay, that's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Like antagonizing Taylor by like a small piece of litter, like in the street,
because he would catch it.
Because he would, yeah. It's a very clean town.
So good. I love that. So they flash to Friday night dinner. We haven't been to Friday night dinner in a while.
Yeah.
It's been a few episodes. It goes into Friday night dinner and you hear Lorelai say, oh, this is kick-ass wine. And Emily's like, how poetic.
I also wrote down this exchange because I was like, okay, this is gold. It like flashed over there. Kiss-ass wine. And Emily goes, how poetic. Then she goes, Lorelai, it's got a nice smell. Earthy, vibrant. You can taste the Italian's feet. And then her dad goes, it's a Bordeaux. It's French. And then she says, what's an Italian's foot doing in a French wine? I thought that was very funny.
It was very funny.
So like, wait, do you think that the wine tastes bad?
I think she was just trying to like be funny and be like, oh, I'm a
connoisseur.
She called something else.
Sommelier.
Yes. Be like, oh, I can taste all the notes of whatever it is. But she's just making stuff up. What she was trying to do. That was funny. Rory then changes the subject and asks the grandparents if they are going to Martha's Vineyard, which I think sets off this hilarious conversation about how they are not going to Martha's Vineyard this year because their usual rental wasn't available. They were late in getting it. Emily's upset because she just wanted to buy a place, and the girls kind of question like, well, couldn't you just go somewhere else, like Paris or Europe? Emily and Rich are like, impossible. We only go to Europe in the fall. And the girls are like, well, it's still there in the spring. And they're like, well, we know it's still there in the spring, but we always go in the fall. And I think Richard is like, what's so interesting about Europe in the spring?
He's like so confused. He was like, why would we go there in the spring?
Lorelai's like, I don't know, spring vegetables? And Emily's like, you want us to go to Europe to eat a vegetable? And Emily and Richard are like, it costs a fortune to travel first class to Europe, and we only do it every 2 years in the fall. And Lorelai says, well, you don't have to fly first class. Emily and Richard are just appalled by that. They just stare like, oh, why would you even suggest such a thing? But yes, that was Friday night dinner. We flashed to the Gilmore house. They did this weird like panning of the camera. I don't know if you noticed that or not. Oh, like where
I don't think so.
they were on Rory's notes and then they like were like sideways and had to like turn the camera to make it straight again. But it was like in a slow motion and it was like really artistic. And I was like, I don't understand why they needed to do that for this scene.
Okay,
It was really unnecessary. It made me dizzy and I was like,
Made
that
me
was
dizzy.
unnecessary. Yes. Okay.
You're like, what was this artistic thing? Like,
Yes, it was
had no
like-
point.
no point.
They were trying to be artistic.
I guess. Okay.
It has to be.
But Rory is studying for school with her flashcards and Lorelai is sewing her sweater. While this happens, Babette comes over and this is where they had the coffee.
Yes.
But she asks Rory if she can house sit / cat sit for them tonight because they just got a new kitten named Apricot. They have to go out of town because Maury got a gig playing at the Village Vanguard in New York. Pretty cool. So Rory accepts, Babette leaves, and then Lorelai is like, wow, I can't believe how fast you jumped at the chance to spend the night away from me. Rory is like, really? I'm just being nice. I'm just trying to help Babette out. Lorelai is like, we've only ever spent like 2 nights apart. This is like the second night we'll be spending apart. Like, isn't that upsetting? Rory's like, yeah, but I'll get over it. And Lorelai keeps pushing. And Rory's like, Mom, what are you going to do when I go off to college? Like, I'm going to be gone every night. And Lorelai says, well, I'm going to come with you and I'll sleep on the floor in your dorm next to your bed. Okay. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why did she have to sleep in the house next door?
The little kitten.
She had to sleep there?
What if something happens to the kitten?
Okay, I guess so. I just was like, that was assumed and it wasn't discussed with Babette and she just there was just an assumption that like, oh, you're going to go and you're just going to like sleep next door, even though like she's right next door and she could just go over there, check on the kitten, make sure the kitten is good, hang out over there and then come back and sleep at her house, which is 2 feet away.
I guess.
I don't know.
Guess.
It's just like,
yes, but also like she was kind of asking her to house sit. I feel like when you house sit, you do sleep at the person's house.
yeah, I guess that's true. She did say house sit.
Yeah. So not that I've ever house sat for anybody. I don't truly understand the concept, especially for one night, but they had the cat. So
like it makes sense that she was asking for someone to like be over there, like
but
at
you
night
think
and stuff.
that she didn't need to sleep there.
I don't know, because it's right next door.
You're right.
It's not
like you didn't need to like.
Maybe this is just me. Maybe it was clear and it just.
I don't know. It was fast. It was quick. She's like, okay,
Yeah.
bye. Wow.
Yeah, it was like, okay, bye. And then it was like, you never spent the night away from me. You're spending it away from me. It's like, you're next door.
You're
Like,
next door.
it was
And
like-
also, they could have both stayed there. Or like
Yes.
can walk over at any time. Is that what
Right.
you're trying to say too?
Also, yes. Like, she's not far away. Like, she's not like going an hour away somewhere to house sit. Like, I don't know. It's just like, the reaction was like, what? Just another moment where
Lorelai,
I'm just
come
like,
on.
what?
Yeah, I know. Don't be immature. Just,
Yeah.
you know. But flash to the next scene. We are in Stars Hollow. There is music playing. We see a man playing the guitar. And this is the first time we are introduced to the town troubadour. This is a recurring character in this show, the town troubadour.
I didn't realize that was him.
That is him. That is the town troubadour. Very exciting stuff.
I have heard of the troubadour, but he wasn't like called out specifically as the troubadour in the episode, was he?
No.
Like they just showed
a man
a man playing guitar
and
okay.
singing. But I'm telling you, that's
Yeah,
the town
okay.
troubadour.
Okay. I'm just making sure I didn't miss something. Okay. You're just telling me that's him.
That's him.
The town
This
troubadour.
is the first time we see him.
Okay.
He is a recurring character.
Big moment.
He's in this show. There's like even like side plots with him. So
Oh, okay. See, I've heard of the town troubadour. Like I've heard of this concept. I just
Yes.
I don't know
there he
anything.
was. Little
Okay.
little town side plots that happen with the town troubadour.
All
So he's an
right, all
important
right.
character in that aspect of things. But another character of the town that we're now seeing. But they pan over and you see Dean is waiting for Rory by the bus. Rory comes out of the bus. She has a bird with her. At this point, we don't know why.
I don't know why.
But she has a bird. She's surprised to see him there. Dean wanted to say hello, and they're kissing in front of the bus door, like right in front of like where you need to get in and off, and people have to like scoot behind them to like get in and off the bus.
That scene was so. I'm like, did they do this intentionally to make this like funny, awkward? Intentionally,
I want to say yes,
because there's this like other kid like behind them, just going like they're like scooting. I can't
like shimmying,
like shimmying like behind Rory to like get on the bus. They're like making out in front of the door.
I
was
want to
laughing
say
so hard. I'm like, that is so
yes.
awkward.
It's like you guys
Like, can you just move aside?
like
You're like
a couple
in the middle.
steps to the left, Just a couple steps. Like, I get it. You're infatuated with each other. I get it. But just a couple steps to the left. That's fine. You can do it right there. Just let other people get on and off the bus.
So they're not like shimmying behind.
Shimmy behind her.
It's like, it was
pretty funny. But after they stop, they keep walking through town. You find out that Rory has this bird. It's a class assignment. She has to examine it for the next month. At this time, she invites Dean over to Babette's. She's house sitting, and it's like, hey, you should come hang out with me while I'm there. He accepts doing that.
He accepts. He accepts
so formal.
the invitation.
He accepts the invitation. They're talking about Dean's work schedule, and you find out he starts work at 4:00 on Thursdays. That's not as usual, but apparently it's very busy on Thursdays. And then he says, lots of oppressed housewives shopping for their husband's dinner. Dean, come on.
What is that comment? What are you doing?
So Rory's reaction's like, it's a little pointed. What the hell? And Dean's like, oh, come on. It was a joke. You're so sensitive. And Rory's like, I find it ridiculous. And he's like, why? So she cooked a lot. She's like, a lot? She made homemade donuts, chocolate cake, lamb chops, mashed potatoes, enough stew to feed Cambodia all in one episode. And Dean's like, so what? Okay.
Yeah, the whole thing, it's just going over his head. Like, he doesn't get it.
Totally going over his head. She's like, you really like that concept? And he's like, yeah, sort of. I mean, it's a little over the top, but the general idea of a wife cooking dinner for her husband and family, that's nice. Why is that not nice? And Rory's like, it's having to have the dinner on the table as soon as the husband gets home and having to look perfect to do housework, and the whole concept that the point of your life is to serve somebody else. And he's like, well, maybe there's 2 points of view here. You only feel that way because your mom feels that way. Oh,
okay.
Dean.
All right.
Come on.
Okay.
Come
on, Dean.
Someone's thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. And Rory is like, oh, okay, so I have no opinions of my own? Well, if that's the case, then I guess I'd be just the kind of girl you like. And then he's like, well, Rory, my mom used to make dinner for my dad every day before she started working, and now she even does it on the weekends. So what does that say about her? And she's like, that says that your mom had a choice and Donna Reed didn't. He's like, Donna Reed isn't real. It's like, no, but she represents women who are real and had to dress and act that way. And they're like, why are we fighting about this? Like, I don't know. And they're just like, I gotta go. That's how there are fights. I gotta get home.
I gotta go home. Wait, let me come with you and explain. No. No. You can't talk to me or my mother right now. Bye.
I gotta get home. So they have this fight and they part ways. Very interesting, though, this whole conversation and this concept. Maybe that was the time we talk about it. That's becoming there's a resurgence in this.
There is.
The trad
Are we
wife.
Talking about this? Are we talking about trad wife things?
Sure.
I mean, I think I agree with what Rory is trying to say here, is that the reason people have a reaction to that kind of thing is because they're thinking of women who were basically like forced to do that. Like that, they didn't have any other choice but to be that way.
Right.
If you're in today's world and you do have a choice and you want to do that, that's fine.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's when you're like forcing somebody to do it that is a problem. Because you shouldn't like force somebody into a certain life. Yeah. Because that's just not nice to do to a person, to a human. So that's all.
Yes.
That's my summary of that. But I think still that there's people that are like very, I don't know, polarized about the whole trad wife thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Like I see that and I'm like, that's not my vibe, but you do you.
Well, that's how I am too, because that's just how I go about my life in general. I'm like,
same.
Okay, if that person really wants to spend their time doing that, like whatever.
That's
their
life.
Making you happy? That's your life. Like you can do that as long as there's not somebody that's there like forcing them to do that. Then that's obviously wrong.
Abuse.
Well, yeah.
And I think potentially back in the day,
it was just expected that was your life. It was frowned upon if you tried to like break out of that, or you just didn't have any opportunity to break out. Like you couldn't.
Right.
So you were basically just forced into this funnel of like be a certain way.
And that's what Rory's saying. She's like, she didn't have a choice. Your mom has a choice.
Right.
She has the freedom to say, I don't want to do this, most likely, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
To do what she wants. But the women that Donna Reed is representing did not necessarily have a choice in that matter.
Right.
So
I don't think Dean understands that at all.
He does not, no.
Like he's just like, oh, well, what if she wants to do that? Like it's kind of nice. It's like, well, okay, but that's not the point. He just missed the entire point. And yes, there is a weird resurgence of it today, which I find interesting. I don't know, of like the whole trad wife thing, but like again, you know, it's it is what it is. Like
There's a tradwife subculture.
it's just a thing that has happened.
I don't
Right.
care.
It's like, what even else? Like, okay.
I don't know. I have nothing else to say. It's just
Right,
like,
yeah.
it's just something to comment on that there is a resurgence of that.
Yeah.
Just find it interesting. Relates to what we're talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
So Rory and Dean, they have this fight about it. They part ways. Flash to the Gilmore house. Rory gets home. It's just sort of Lorelai's getting ready to go over to Luke's to help pick out some paint. Rory shows that she has the bird. Lorelai wants to know what its name is. And Rory's like, I don't know, case study number 12. And Lorelai's like, that's not a name. Let's name him Stanley. It's like, well, it's a girl, okay? Sorry. What about Stella? We'll name you Stella. It's very obvious Rory is grumpy. Lorelai's like, what's wrong? And Rory's like, nothing. I don't know. I'm just tired. Rory's leaving the chick at the house for the night so the kitten doesn't get any fancy ideas. Flash to Luke's. No, how did this la la goes? La 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 la. Wait. I tried to write it in cadence so I could.
You wrote it down.
Like la 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 la. Is it la 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 la? It's kind of a new la la we were hearing today.
Okay.
See,
Unfortunately, I didn't pay attention again to the specific Lala theme.
oh, you're not
I gotta
hearing the
get
music.
better.
You
I gotta get better at this.
It's okay. We're so early. But yeah, this was kind of like a new one. I feel like we haven't heard yet. It was like la 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 la. Anyway, yeah, that one's okay.
Okay.
That one's okay. I don't know. But yeah, so we're in Luke's. Lorelai is going over paint samples with Luke. She holds up one combination. She's like, ooh, this could be a French bistro type of Luke.
You could be French bistro Luke or rusticy cafe Luke. Or he's like, what are you painting me?
Wait, what?
I don't know. Okay, never mind.
We're keeping that. I was thinking that. I mean, that's what he would have said.
Yeah.
I'm not the one being painted.
Yeah.
Mer.
I did an okay impression, right?
You did. But yes, blue and brown, like a dark blue and dark brown for a French bistro type of look. Looks like this isn't a French bistro, okay?
Bistro.
Bistro.
This isn't a French bistro.
Can't talk today. Oh, man. Okay, but then the next one, she's like, oh, but if you wanted to do a warm Tuscan countryside, he says, then I'd go to Italy. It was more oranges, reds, browns, that type of look. And then she's like, oh, or we could do pastel, like English country garden theme. We could add stenciling to the ceiling. And Luke was like, no stenciling. And Lorelai says, do you even know what stenciling is? And he goes, does Martha Stewart do it? She's like, yes. He's like, no, stenciling. It's like pastel pinks and blues. At this point, Taylor and Kirk come in. Kirk is confronting Luke and confirming that Luke is actually painting the diner because Taylor and Kirk supposedly or apparently had a bet about it. Kirk didn't believe, but he has to pay up to Taylor. As those two are leaving, Taylor sees the pastel colors and is like, ooh, I like this. And immediately, Lorelai and Luke look at each other like, okay, nope, we're not doing those.
No.
Flash to Rory is at Babette's and she is making apricots dinner. Looks like she had to use a mixer.
Yeah, what appliance is she using to make the cat's
She
dinner?
used,
It's
like,
like a heated bowl of some kind?
What?
She had a bowl that was like plugged into the wall.
No, that it was a handheld mixer.
The mixer was plugged into the wall? It looked like the bowl was plugged into the... Did I just like miss...
You totally missed that. No,
Okay,
it was
what
a
was she
handheld
doing?
mixer that was plugged into the wall.
Okay.
So supposedly she had to like blend up
Okay, maybe
the cat food. I was like, oh, that's
now
interesting.
I'm like, wait a minute. Now I want to like go back and rewatch this. I could have it looked to me like the
No.
bowl was like plugged in to warm the food or something, and she was like putting stuff in it, and the bowl was what was plugged
I don't
in.
think so.
Which makes no sense. But I remember thinking like, that's weird. I probably just
No, it
I
was
couldn't-
definitely the handheld mixer was
Okay.
plugged into the wall.
I'm
She
just-
mixed it and then was pouring it out into the
okay. I'm just crazy then.
Yeah, I don't. You're like, what?
I was like, why is the bowl
What?
plugged into the wall? I don't know why I thought it looked like that.
No, I was just like, this is very elaborate for
Yes.
the kitten's meal, but I
Yeah.
don't know. It's what the instructions were. Rory feeds the kitten. It's a cute little kitten.
Yeah, it's
Cute
cute.
little cat. It's like, oh, it's a little kitten.
Yes.
It was cute. Rory then goes to study, but she calls Dean's house to see if he is home. He is not. but she tries to pass along the message that she called. Then we flash back to Luke's. Lorelai is still showing Luke paint. They're drinking some beers, and she's like, while any of these combos can work, I think this combo is my favorite. And she says, these colors. She says,
Am I interrupting you with my facial expressions?
Yes,
okay.
I know what you're going to say.
Okay, go ahead.
She says, the colors are similar to what you have now, but just a little richer, a little warmer. And I'm like, that's the exact same color green.
It's the exact same
It's the
color.
exact color green. It's not even like richer. It's the exact color
It's like
green.
the same green and the same trim color that he already has. In like the paint cards. Like
It's exactly this.
like that's what you picked. Which, like, okay, fine. If you just want to
That's
repaint and freshen
fine.
things up, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's hilarious that after all this whole, like, all these different, let's just do the same color.
It's a little warmer. It's a little richer. No. It's just going to be fresh.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, wait. And then goes and runs and turns off the lights. It's like a little ambiance. Okay.
I thought the same thing. I was like, what? Are you being weird right now? Like, what are you doing?
A little ambiance, and yet you're claiming some other things later in the show, but I don't know. And Luke is like, this is a diner. We don't do ambiance. But I will point out that when she shut off the lights, he had little lamps on the tables that were all lit up.
Where did those come from?
Why does he have those?
Yeah.
He's a day diner. He doesn't need lamps
I don't
for
remember
nighttime.
seeing
Those
lamps
are
on the
new.
tables. Are they new?
Did
Or
he
did we
set
just
those
not,
up?
Did we just not notice them?
Maybe we didn't notice them. Did he set...
Did he
was
set
trying
those
to
up
set the
that
vibe?
evening?
Was he trying to set the vibe for the evening? Maybe.
Who knows?
That's funny. But Luke is like, honestly, I have no idea. Do you like it? And she says yes. And he's like, okay, good. So they agree that they're going to use those colors. But as that happens, at that time, Andrew pops into the door, taking pictures. You got a real professional paparazzi type camera going. It felt like it was like, oh, we caught the two in the act or something.
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
like weirdly
Didn't it feel
like they turned around like,
oh,
it's like
should we even be seen together right
Yeah,
now?
like,
That was the vibe.
That was though. Like they were both turned around like, huh? And also he like just burst in and just started going like just like immediately, like didn't even like say anything. Like
So I was like trying to make it paparazzi. I was like, ah.
that is how it felt like.
It's like, wait.
I was told to take before and after photos.
Yeah. Okay. But then just, Luke tells him to get out of here, pushes him out.
Can I just point out something funny here? He shuts the door and then like flips his like open close sign to closed.
Uh-huh.
Okay, there's like these blinds on the window of the door, and the sign is like behind them.
So you can't even see them.
Like see the sign from the street, like the way that. Yes, like he has the sign like on top of these blinds that are closed, and you can't see it from the street.
So how is anyone even supposed to know?
You can't see the sign.
I wonder why people are barging in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I noticed that. And I was
That's
like,
funny.
what?
I didn't see that. Lorelai and Luke are just still talking in the diner, and Lorelai says, since you're going to have to take things off the wall anyway, now would be a good time to figure out what stuff you're going to keep and what stuff you're going to get rid of. And Luke is very insistent that everything stays. He says that multiple times.
Yep.
And Lorelai is like, okay, but there's a plastic dancing pork chop that says, I lost my head over a good chop. You should too. She's just like making a face like, what?
You know what?
Oh.
I agree with her, but also, Lorelai, who are you to talk? You have so much stuff at your
100%.
You have so much stuff at your house. Remember?
That's fair.
How long ago was it that we were talking about the slightly sinister barroom decoration monkey lamp or whatever? Like, you have some wild stuff in your house.
You do.
So now you're gonna go to other people and be like, "Oh, you need to get rid of." Oh yeah, and then when they were doing the whole rummage sale, wasn't that the last episode, the concert episode?
Yes.
The rummage sale, and she kept trying to like take people's stuff,
random stuff that was ugly and weird. Yes.
You're not one to talk, Lorelai. You're not one to talk.
Okay. Leave your judgment at the door.
She wants to take that stuff. She wants that thing. That's why she wants him to get rid of it.
Really? You want this?
Yeah, like secretly she's like taking it out of the dumpster or something. No,
You want the dancing pork chop? Flasher, she's putting it up in her house.
Yeah.
That's funny. But no, Luke is like, no, everything stays. He then is going on a little nostalgic moment about how this place hasn't been painted since his dad was alive. And it's just talking about his father and how he wanted to open up a diner because he wasn't really into the hardware business like his dad, and but he just wanted to work there like his dad did. And Lorelai is sitting there and thinking about that too, and wishing she had that kind of connection with her dad. And Luke reminds her that, well, she has that with Rory. She has a really good relationship with Rory. And then he pretends to not know where his dad took a note one time for an order, but the way he did it was so like, are you trying to...
There's somewhere around here, there's this old note that my dad took, and it's like clearly right on the side of this cabinet that he walks by every single day.
So I was always confused by that moment because it's like, are you trying to be like, you're trying to lead Lorelai to go find it herself, right? But also the way he did it was like, he didn't know where it was, but he did know where it was. I don't know. I always got confused by how he said it.
It was slightly confusing, but I understood like what they were trying to get at was that he actually didn't exactly remember where it was. He's like, oh yeah, somewhere over here there's an old note that my dad left, like as if it was like in an unfinished room and scrawled in like some corner that's like behind stuff stored on a shelf or like something like that. But that wasn't the case. It was clearly written on the side of this.
Right. I guess that's why it confused me. It came across like he didn't totally know where it was, but he did know where it was.
It would have made more sense if he like led Lorelai to some shelf that had stuff on it, and then he had to like rummage around, and it was like, oh, here, what? Like he knew where it was,
somewhere
but
over
it wasn't like
in plain sight.
Yes, it wasn't like already in plain sight, like clearly right there.
Oh my God. So it was just like, wait, what? But it's funny. So Lorelai finds it. Yeah, it's written on the side of like one of the prep tables in the back, and Luke and Lorelai go sit down there and look at it and are talking about it. And Luke says, well, I guess maybe it is time for a little spruce. And Lorelai says, well, maybe we won't spruce this spot. Like, let's keep this. That's a good memory and thing to have, in the restaurant. They say, sounds good, and they're smiling at each other and staring at each other, and they are totally about to kiss. There's like this tension there. There's this tension.
So tense.
And it's like, ah! But then the whole town starts banging on the door. The town beautification committee maybe starts banging on the door, trying to get in to see what's going on. You hear Taylor say, just imagine it all in pastels. Luke is about to like go tell him to go away, and Lorelai just says, no, wait, stay back, like they'll go away on their own. So they hide behind the counter so they can't see them. Luke says thank you to Lorelai, and she says, you're welcome. And it's another close moment where they're crouched together behind the counter. I mean, Luke was like on top of her. Like he was like on top of her, okay?
Okay.
I was like, you guys are very intimately close right now.
Physically on top of each other.
A lot of sexual tension happening in this diner this evening. And then they stare up at each other like they're very close. And then there's this moment of like, Lorelai's like, okay, well, I think I should get going. Okay. It's like, okay, yeah. And she gets up to go leave, and Luke is left drinking his beer, and he's doing like the classic, like there's an awkward moment and you take a sip of your drink, like, oh God, geez.
Like what just happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a pretty funny image. We flash to Lane's. Rory stops by Lane's because she needs to borrow a weird CD. She doesn't know exactly what it is, but she would know it if she saw it. So Lane is like, okay. So she's like, let's go look. And you finally see how Lane is hiding all of her music in her floorboards. Like it is, wow.
I don't know why, but I loved the scene so much. Because she like opens up the one floorboard and I'm like, oh, okay, she has a hiding place in her floorboards. But then there's like multiple of them. And I'm
3
like,
or 4 other ones, yeah.
Is her whole floor music? Like, this is incredible. I just love that, like, she kept being like, oh, maybe it's over here. And she keeps going, there's, like, more hiding spots. I'm like, yes. Because you can't tell it all. That floor is, like, immaculate.
Rock solid.
I'm impressed, Lane.
It is. It's impressive.
Yeah.
That she figured out how to
do that and hide it from her mom.
Yes.
It's
pretty
impressive.
So impressive. That was cool. We got to see how she's hiding all of her CDs in the floorboards and all of her categorization of CDs. We've got classic, progressive, pretty boy genre of music, punk, new wave, German metal bands, Broadway soundtracks, jazz vocals, classical, country, rockabilly, Sinatra, miscellaneous. And that's where Rory finds the CD she's looking for. I didn't see exactly what it was,
I don't think I did either. At least I didn't write it down.
No, I tried to look and I feel like I couldn't see it. But I'd like to say, too, when they actually are at the time where she's playing the music and there's a comment about it, it's like, oh, nice music. She's like, yeah, thanks. It just sounds like jazz.
It wasn't jazz.
Okay.
Now I want to go back and listen to it real quick. Wait, hold on. Pause. Okay, so it's not jazz. It's like, but I don't know what to call that. Like it's
weird, I guess.
It's just weird. Yeah, it's just miscellaneous. Like, it's old-timey, but
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on the genre that I'm thinking. Like, I want to say like big band, but that's not even it. I don't think that's it. It's like, like brass instruments.
Yeah.
But something that you would hear in like a department store in the 50s.
Okay.
That's what it is. It's not jazz. It is not jazz.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
I can say that pretty.
But it is a kind of a different type of sound.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Rory finds the CD. We're not entirely sure at this moment what she's doing yet. We're all a little confused, but there's something in the works. Flash to the Gilmore house. Lorelai gets home from Luke's, and Stella the bird is missing. Somehow she's not in the cage. They left open the cage.
They left it open? What happened here?
Why is she not in her cage? Like
unexplained.
Lorelai calls out the classic Stella. Marlon Brando reference from I don't know what movie. I could try to look that up.
I don't know.
I forget. But now I don't even.
He calls out Stella specifically.
Yeah, that's like a thing, like Stella.
Oh, I don't know that.
You never heard of that?
No.
Oh, that's like a classic reference.
Oh, okay.
But I don't even know the full reference. But that is
okay.
Yes, just
I believe you.
They named the bird Stella just to do this reference.
Yeah,
like
okay.
100%.
I believe you. I believe you. Stella.
Yes. So she's looking for the bird. She can't hear anything. She calls Luke to help with this situation. Luke answers the phone and he's like, "Who the hell is this?" And she's like, It's Lorelai. Who else would it be? Like, who else would call you
right now
for like this type of situation? He's like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm the idiot." Just hilarious. She's like, "Okay, can you come over and help me? There's a bird loose in my house, a chick loose in my house. Can you come over and help me?" And he says, "Yeah, I'll be right over." Luke shows up, and you can tell that he thinks she's making this up. She's like, "She went over here and then did this and whatever." And he's kind of smirking, smiling, like, okay. But then you hear chirping, and he's like, "Oh, you really did have a chick loose in the house." And she's like, "Yeah, that's what I said. Like, why are you questioning that?" And it's kind of hilarious. They're like running around trying to chase after the bird. It's really funny. Oh. Flash to Rory. Flash to Rory. Just like, but Rory up a bets. You can't see exactly what's going on yet. But Dean calls and asking if it's still okay for him to come over. He wasn't sure if he was still invited over, and she says yes. And she says, "How long will it be?" And he says, "Actually, not long at all. I'm right outside." I thought this was a little spooky. I don't know. I think it's the way Dean like talks.
The way that he says stuff. It's like just makes you like pause.
So like, how long were you out there, Dean? Just standing. Waiting.
Watching.
And then you call. "How long will you be?" "Not long at all. I'm right outside." The phone goes blank. There's a dial tone. This would happen in a horror film.
Yeah.
You're babysitting, you're house sitting, something
you're
like
in
that.
an unfamiliar locale, and then someone calls you, and they're outside. They're inside the house.
They're inside the house, outside. Isn't that the start of Scream?
Yeah.
Isn't that what happens, Drew Barrymore? The start of Scream?
That's that's where that trope, I think, started.
Yes.
The whole, the creepy phone call.
Yes.
I think, anyway, that was the start of
Not
that.
100% sure, but I think that was like something, yeah. And maybe they are playing into that. I don't know, but it's just like,
why would they be playing?
I don't know.
But yeah, you're right though. Like maybe this is all done intentionally for some reason. This is too much of a pattern.
It's too much. It's too much. So that was spooky. I was like, oh, it's creepy. But anyway, Rory goes to go greet him, and she walks out of the house, and we see everything, and she says, "Honey, you're home." That's the line that I can't watch this episode because of that line and how she says it. "Honey, you're home."
That's like kind of the appropriate reaction, though. I feel like I died a little bit inside when I watched this. Of it, like embarrassment or like.
Yes,
I think the feeling was embarrassment, like on her behalf. Like,
yes, I'm embarrassed for her. She is wearing an orange plaid 50s type hoop dress with an apron and pearls and orange heels and headband. She's dressed up all in that way. I mean, it's the most cringiest.
It's just cringy.
I
feel like that word is overused today, but this is not one of those situations. This is like, is so cringy.
I don't normally say the word cringe or cringy, but this is the moment where I'm like, I cringe. Because I physically cringe.
So I did too when I watched this.
So you see all that and just the, "Honey, you're home." I was like, ah. I mean, it's almost a spooky moment too.
It kind of is.
Oh, I said this at the beginning. I generally a lot of times skip this episode because of this moment that happened.
I understand that.
And I'm almost sad that I always did because there's funny things that happen in this episode.
Yeah, there's other funny things.
Yes. But yeah, it is just insane. And then Dina's like, what? And she's like, "What, you don't like it?" And he's like, "I don't know, trick or treat."
Yeah.
Like,
this is actually potentially my quote of the episode.
Okay.
Is that she goes like, "Well, say something." And he's like, trick or treat. So good.
That was really good. And she's like, "Why, you don't like it?" And he's like, "Well, it's got a large circumference." And then I'm like, where did Rory get these items? Where did she obtain this dress, these shoes?
That's a good question. Did she go to like the local theater? Is there a local theater? Is there a
Miss
theater?
Patty's.
Just Miss Patty's?
Yeah. Maybe
she has costumes there.
She infiltrated she broke into Miss Patty's again.
Yeah.
She
knows how.
Yes.
She broke in there. She stole this 50s costume.
Yeah.
To do this. And then we're going to come back to this debate, which I don't know, we should discuss this at the end of the scene of like, what was her intent with this whole thing?
We have to discuss this because it's a big point of this whole thing. And and apparently controversial online. Like I said at the beginning, people said they like this episode because she's making fun of it. And I'm like, no, I don't think she was. So we'll discuss that.
We'll discuss.
So Rory invites Dean into the house. And you can see that Rory like lit up all these candles all around the house, has the table set up nice, takes Dean's coat. And so Dean is just taking it all in. Rory brings something over, just some apps before dinner. And he's like, "Before dinner, are we going out? Are we ordering pizza? Like what?" And she's like, no. Rory made dinner for Dean. Steak, green beans, mashed potatoes, and dessert. And Dean is like, what? You made me dinner? He is shocked. He's like, "What's happening?" And she's like, "Oh, I thought it was obvious. It's Donna Reed night."
I don't even know what to say here.
This is where it's like, "Oh, I thought it was obvious. It's Donna Reed night." Where like, okay, I could see the idea of like, oh, she's trying to be like,
you don't actually think this is nice.
Yeah.
Or this is weird. Like,
yes, trying to show him this is weird, right?
Yeah. You could make that argument.
In this moment.
In that moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be like, it's obvious. It's Donna Reed night. This is Donna Reed. You know, this is what you said you thought would be nice. So here it is, right? I wanted to point out the apps before dinner.
Yeah.
Were Ritz crackers with these huge dollops of like cheese whiz or something on top of it. Did you see that?
Wait a minute. No. She had two different ones. She had one that looked like it looked like raviolis or something.
You know, that was
Is
like
that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What was it? Wait,
it was Ritz crackers. If you stop and look at what it was, it looked like Ritz crackers with like dollops of cheese. I'm assuming cheese whiz because that's like things they would eat. So like
it wasn't in like a swirl.
It wasn't in a swirl. It was like a dollop. I don't know how to describe it.
A lump.
A lump. It was like a bulb. It was a bulb of circular bulb of something.
Maybe I just didn't look that closely or I got confused because for some reason it looked like it was some type of like
I gotta show this to you.
Like a like a ravioli.
It's so gross.
What is that? Okay, that looks gross. It does look gross. I honestly, I guess I just didn't look closely enough because I thought that was something else. I didn't really know what it was, but I'm like,
Well, that's her appetizers before dinner. Trying to throw something together really fast, but
wow.
So that's happening at Babette's house. Right across from them at the Gilmore house, Lorelai and Luke are trying to find the bird. They cannot find the bird. They're talking, they're searching for the bird. But then Lorelai says to Luke, "Hey, Luke, what did you mean earlier? You made some comment about me not actually having a chick in the house. If you didn't think that, why did you think I was calling?"
I don't know, Lorelai. What do you think? I'm sorry. I'm just like upset that she doesn't understand this.
Okay.
Sorry, I interrupted the scene.
No, it's okay. Okay, well, it's a short scene. Anyway, Luke tries to brush it off and be like, "What? No, I thought that's what you meant. I thought that's what you meant." And she's like, "Well, but wait." But then Luke spots the chick and he's like, "Oh, it's over there." And then he jumps on a couch and breaks a lamp. And I was like, parkour. Hardcore. But okay, I have a lot of thoughts on this. Yeah, I don't think she should be acting confused. You guys were having very intense sexual tension earlier.
You had like
an hour earlier.
You like almost kissed and got interrupted. And then you kind of rushed out. And then very soon after, you called and were like, "You need to come over." It doesn't matter why. You asked him to come over late at night after that happened.
After you guys were like, yeah. So
you gotta know that could look a certain way.
Yes.
I feel like Lorelai is experienced in the world enough to know that could have had that implication.
Yeah.
She didn't. That's not what she meant.
That's not what she meant.
Should know that it could have come off that way.
Yes. And she doesn't want to admit that she has feelings for Luke.
Why would you then ask him, like, what did you mean?
Yeah, you were saying, her asking that question is her trying to get Luke to say, I wanted to.
I don't know what she was doing by that question. I don't know what her goal there was, because it came off as, she literally just had no idea why he said that. She was completely not, it went over her head she really didn't know. That's what I thought was happening. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense for her character.
No.
I'm sorry.
Right. She has a pulse on all that type of stuff.
Yes. No, but I actually think that in the show, she didn't actually know. She genuinely did not know and was asking, why did you say that? So all I'm saying is I'm just irked by that because I think that's not what Lorelai, the character, it doesn't make sense.
Would normally do. Yeah, that doesn't make sense for her character. She would know.
That's what, Yes.
And
he doesn't want to, be like, well, I thought maybe you wanted to do something else. He just tries to, brush it off.
Because he can tell that that's not what her intention was.
That wasn't her intention.
So that happens, and then Luke crashes into something trying to grab the bird. Back with Rory and Dean, they're eating dinner. Dean says it's perfect. It's amazing. No one's ever made him dinner except his mom. So this is cool. Rory's like, "Oh, wait, save room for dessert." And he's like, "Oh, what's that?" And she's like, "Lime Fantasy Supreme." And she takes out these milkshake glasses of green Jell-O and Cool Whip that she made. And I'm just sitting here being like, when did she have time to do this whole dinner, to make that dessert?
I don't know.
I mean, a lot of stuff was out of a can in a box, they said that, but Jell-O takes time.
That's true, yeah. You have to let it set.
Okay, so I'm thinking through all this right now, and I'm analyzing this way too much, but I was like, you had to go out and buy all those groceries.
Yeah.
And cook that meal. Okay,
yeah.
That's one thing you had to do. You also stopped at Lane's and had to pick up a CD.
Uh-huh.
You also somehow obtained this outfit.
She had to break into Miss Patty's.
She broke into Miss Patty's.
Which she could only do after a certain hour.
Exactly.
Because if it's too early, then people would have been there.
Right. She had to go undercover, under the cover of night, to break into Miss Patty's to get that outfit because she didn't want people probably seeing her getting those things. That's embarrassing, right? So she did that, had to go make dinner and set everything up, light all these candles, make sure the kitten was fed.
Didn't she go to school that day?
She was in school that day. She got off the bus and then it was that night.
Yeah.
So, how late did Dean come over?
Yeah, what time do you think this was?
I don't know.
Kind of happening at the same time as Luke is next door?
Yes.
Is it 8 o'clock?
The latest.
If it's too late, that doesn't make sense that they're still eating dinner.
Exactly. The latest it could be is 8 p.m.
What time does she get home from school normally, do we think?
Didn't she have that fight with Dean at that same day, right?
Oh, wait. Yes, when was that?
That was that same day because she invites him over that night.
Yeah. Yeah, but wasn't that on her way to school that she had the fight?
No, it was on her way from school. Because she came off the bus with the bird.
She had the bird.
Yes.
She had the bird. So it was after school. Okay, so she gets home from school.
And he starts work at 4. So it wasn't quite 4 o'clock yet.
Yes, you're right. She goes home. She drops off the bird. She gets changed. She has a good, 3 hours, a healthy 3 hours to do all of this.
So she had 3 hours.
She had 3 hours to pull this together.
Okay.
That's still pretty hard, though. She cooked a steak dinner on short notice.
Yeah, how's she cooking this steak? Does she even know how to do that?
I don't know. I don't know
like the cooking type. That was cutting it close, but I was like, how did she have time to do all of that?
This? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, she was all done up.
That too. That took time too.
It took time.
To do her hair.
She had a bump it in there.
She had a bump. She had the bump.
Anyway, so
we did the math. It was physically possible. That's the conclusion of this,
the only
everyone.
thing that potentially wasn't was making that slime fantasy supreme. Because she had to make Jell-O and let it set and then put the Jell-O together, those things.
Should we do the math on this too?
Well, we don't have to. Everyone's probably tired of this now.
Yeah, okay, we can move on.
We can move on. But anyway, the Jell-O dessert made me think, what's going on?
What's going on? What is this?
How did she have time to do all of this? But yeah, she has the desserts, and then Rory's like, oh my God, I forgot to make the rolls. She's pissed she forgot to make them. And Dina's like, we don't need rolls. It's fine. And Rory says, no, they're going to make me return my pearls. Donna Reed wouldn't have forgotten. Then they start kissing, and then Dean says, look, as amazing as this whole thing was, I hope you know I don't expect you to be Donna Reed. This just got totally blown out of proportion. And then Rory says, I know, and I appreciate that. But besides this actually being fun, I have that in bold in my notes. I did some research on Donna Reed. She did do the whole housewife thing, but she was also an uncredited producer and director, which made her one of the first woman executives, which Rory thinks is pretty cool. And it's like, yeah, that's a great thing to learn about her. And then Rory says, I would do it again someday. Rory wants to clean up, and then Dean wants to help. And she makes a joke of no, you're a man. You can't help for another 15 years. And he's like, all right, well, as the man, I'll do what the man does. And she goes, go bowling? And he says, take out the trash. But this little scene was where I'm like, see, I don't think she was making a joke of the whole situation. To me, right now, this proved to me that she enjoyed it and was like, yeah, I would do this again. I would be a trad wife.
She literally said it. So the whole time she was being serious.
Yes, which is why it's cringy.
Yes.
This is why I cringe and get at this episode, is because
she's not making fun of it. It wasn't, look how weird this is. I'm going to do this. I'm going to prove my point that this is weird.
She was like, you know what? Maybe Dean's right. That is nice.
Yeah, she's like, oh, maybe this could be nice, and I was wrong. Yeah, it's like they both are being like, yeah, I was wrong. This could be nice.
And he was like,
and
look,
he was like, I'm not expecting this of you.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yes. She's not making fun of it.
She was like, this will be cool if I dress up in this dress and act all weird. I don't know.
Yeah, because if she was trying to prove her point, she would have been like, see,
she would have been like, doesn't this seem out of place? Or doesn't this seem
maybe some of this is nice, but she would agree with Dean that it's excessive. I don't know.
Yeah. She didn't say it. At no point she was like, yeah, I know. This is excessive. I was trying to show you how excessive this is or something.
No, that didn't happen. So she was serious. She enjoyed it. I cringe every time.
Yeah.
Again, if you like to do that, that's fine. But that's not
but that's not
the point of what was happening.
Right.
So Dean goes to take out the trash. Back with Lorelai and Luke, they found the chick. They're putting her back in the cage, and you see that Luke broke Lorelai's lamp, and so he's going to take it and go throw it outside. He walks outside at the same time that Dean walks outside to throw away the trash. And they walk down the steps and they run into each other. And they're both like, hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? And Dean is like, you first. And then Luke says, I'm looking for a chick. And Dean's like, yeah, me too. No, you're not. What the fuck? No. You're totally making it up. And then Luke's like, you are not. And then Dean's like, neither are you. That's not. What? And then just such a great little exchange. And then Lorelai comes out of the house to ask Luke something and sees Dean. And she's like, oh, Dean, fancy meeting you here. And Dean is stuttering about like what was going on. He's like, oh God, should I be here? Should I not? I don't know. And then Rory comes out saying, Dean, the Jell-O is doing this weird melty thing, but then stops and sees that Luke and Lorelai are outside. Rory's like, Mom, Luke, Rory. Everyone's like, it's like one of those classic, like everyone's saying each other's names. It's really funny. And Lorelai is just like, so what the hell are you two doing? Dean just says like, well, we ate dinner and steak and beans, and it wasn't this. They're like, they're both stuttering. Yeah. And then Rory and Dean are like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, oh, which they didn't want to say that the bird got loose.
The bird got loose because they were supposed to be watching. Lorelai was supposed to be watching her bird.
Right. So she's like, they're like, oh, we were in the house, and then the lamp just sort of, and then Luke's like, I'm gonna get going.
I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, and then Dean is like, I better get going too, okay? Bye, Rory, thanks for dinner. And Luke and Dean leave. And it's kind of funny too, because I feels like the way that Lorelai and Luke talk about it, it's like they could have been doing something else and broke a lamp. Like, what I mean?
Yes,
so it's like,
That's why it's like, they're like, well, a lamp broke. And it's just like, well, how did that happen? Like, what?
And everyone's like, okay. Dean and Luke leave. Lorelai is just staring at Rory, and Rory's just like, what? Lorelai says, okay, well, you're 16, you have a house to yourself. I expect you're going to invite your boyfriend over, but what is with the apron? And Rory is just like, it's a long story. And then Lorelai is just, she's making fun of her, and she's just like, I am going to torch you about this outfit. In the pearls and the shoes. Like, oh my God, what are you wearing? As her mom would be like, where did you get that? Like, you don't own this. Like, what? Neither of us own that. So where did you find that?
Neither of us own that. Where did you get that?
But then they both go inside of their respective houses. But then Rory's like, Mom, I can't find Apricot. I went inside and she was missing. And Lorelai runs over. She's like, that's it. We're not animal people. And they go to find the cat. And I'm like, Rory, like, you barely stepped in the door. Yeah. And you were like, I can't find the cat.
I took a note about this too. It was like 2 seconds. Like, she like went in the door and then immediately came out. The cat is missing. You didn't even look. You like opened the door and like scanned the room with your eyes and didn't immediately see the cat and then went into full the cat is missing.
Like, I don't think that's how that works.
No, especially with cats.
With cats.
They can hide.
Yes. But Lorelai runs over there. They go to search for the cat. Fade to the next day. We're at the Independence Inn. We're in the kitchen. Michelle and Suki are fighting over an omelet. It's just a little back and forth that's happening between the two of them. Lorelai is back there, and then she's talking to Suki and says, who wants to hear about my night? And she tells Suki that it started with a baby chick getting loose in her house and then ended up with her and Rory at 1 a.m. looking for Rory and Babette's new kitten, who they found asleep in the piano.
How did that happen?
How did
it get in the piano?
I don't know. It's questionable. It's a little questionable. I don't know. Suki is like, that's very Wild Kingdom of you. Then Lorelai tells Suki that she called Luke to help her find Stella the bird. And she says, it's the weirdest thing. When he got there, he was questioning about like whether I actually had a baby chick in the house. Suki's like, that's a little. And Lorelai's like, what? What? And she's like, well, we call someone and ask them to help you come look for your loose chick. Kind of code for I'm not wearing any underwear. And Lorelai's like, that's not code for I'm not wearing any underwear. And then Suki's like, yeah, I don't know, but like this happened with me and Jackson. Like I called him and told him there was a bat in my attic. And Lorelai says, but you do have a bat in your attic. So he's like, yeah, but when we couldn't find it, we had wine and we're talking and then, and Lorelai is just like, Luke thought I called him so I could get him in bed. And so he's like, well, maybe not, but maybe he thought you wanted to see him and you just didn't know how to say it. Lorelai just says, that's nuts.
Yeah, like she doesn't believe this.
No, she will not believe that is possibly
and I'm
could
sitting
be the
here
case.
Like, are you, what? Yes, you can believe this is the case. This is totally, and honestly, something that you would do, honestly. If you wanted somebody to come over. So like, she
keeps being like, it's Luke. And then Suki goes into, well, why did you call him? Why didn't you call anybody else? And Lorelai is like, well, I was just with him. We were picking out paint samples to paint the diner. And Suki's like, yeah, you were painting with Luke, just the two of you. You planned that so you could spend time together.
Yeah.
And Lorelai is just getting very frustrated that, and so he's like, don't be mad at me. I don't mean to make you upset. She's like, but, Luke is a really nice guy. It's not crazy. And Lorelai is just like, and storms out of there. In this moment in time, I'm like, I don't think it's that crazy that Lorelai called Luke to come over to help her with something.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy either. I mean, they're friends.
They're friends. So I
And
guess
it's true. Like, they had just been together. Like, she'd just been talking to him.
Yes.
So she knew that he was, like, she knew where he was. They had just been talking, and she's just like, oh, I need help. Like, hey, come over.
Yes.
Like,
so, Lorelai's
fine.
reasoning for why she did what she did, is believable to me. Like, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. She would call Luke and be like, hey, I was just with you. You're up. Can you come help me do this? Because, and you're also a handy person.
Yeah, and
so.
also and I agree with that. I think her reasoning does make sense.
But the fact that she won't be like, oh, I guess that could sound like this.
Yes, that's the part that I'm like, really?
Yeah,
really?
Right. Flash to, it's Friday night dinner. Emily answers the door for Lorelai and Rory. She's very rushed. She's like, come in, come in. And Emily and Richard are trying to secure a place for Martha's Vineyard. They're currently discussing the business transaction on the phone with maybe their real estate agent. Lorelai says, oh, I thought you had lost your old place. And they say, we did. But this afternoon, we found out that Arthur Roundtree had died. And they're like so excitable, right? That Richard and Emily, like, we found out that Arthur Roundtree had died. He'd been drinking. So we got on the phone and snatched up that place. It's a fine piece of property. Much better view than our usual place. And Lorelai's like, okay, like,
all right.
You guys are going to hell. Like, this is, And Richard says, well, at least we'll be well rested. They're like, ha ha. And it was like, and Lorelai just goes, touche. She's
like, I don't understand, but if you guys are happy, okay.
Okay. Just laughing that this man has died, right?
Yeah.
They're like, we got the place. Richard and Emily are just thrilled that they want Lorelai and Rory to come up for the weekend. Rory really wants to go. Lorelai says, well, we'll see how much Valium Aunt Suki can lend Mommy. Which I was like, okay, so Suki just has all these drugs.
Has medication.
She just has all these drugs. So that time that she just had drugs in her purse.
That time that she just had drugs, like she's over and she's just like, I have these muscle
relaxers. Like, where are you, Suki? Where are you getting these from? She's the drug dealer in town. Like, what the heck?
She's the Stars Hollow drug dealer.
The secret Stars Hollow drug. Oh my God. But then Emily continues and says, the only drawback, of course, is that we had to rent the place furnished. And she's like, oh, Arthur had dreadful taste. And her and Richard are laughing, like, the library, remember the library? Pink and green, horrible, just horrible. And Lorelai goes, well, he's dead now, so he got his, right? And then Emily and Richard just stop laughing. And they're like, Lorelai, you're being morbid. And Lorelai's like, I'm being morbid?
I'm being morbid. Excuse me?
So good. They're like, well, he got his, right? Lorelai, you're being morbid. But they changed the subject, and Emily asks what is new in Rory's life. So no, just nothing, school and homework. And Lorelai says, and aprons. And Emily's like, what do you mean, aprons? She's like, oh, nothing. I'm just teasing her. Richard and Emily, like, about aprons? Like, they're pushing the issue.
Yeah.
And Rory and Lorelai, like, oh, it's nothing. Rory just dressed up in an apron the other day, and I'm teasing her about it. And Richard and Emily are pushing, and Lorelai, trying to make a joke, is like, well, we've decided to give up on that pesky Harvard dream, and Rory has decided to become a maid just like me. Are like, oh my God, I think she thinks that's funny. Why would you make a joke like that? That's terrible. Why would you say such a thing in front of Rory? Lorelai is just like, I was just kidding. They changed the subject again. Rory's telling them about her school assignment with the bird, and the bird got out. And then Rory says, oh, and thank God Luke found her. And of course, Emily hears that and is like, Luke found her? Wait, what was he doing at your house? Pushes the issue.
Yeah.
And so Lorelai gets up to leave. She's like, I don't want to talk about this. And Emily keeps pushing it. And Lorelai just says, he was helping me find the bird. But Emily will not take that answer. And she's like, it seems like this man is always around when you're in trouble. Lorelai is trying to insist that he's just a good friend. And Emily says, oh, please, I'm getting tired of being lied to. He was at Rory's birthday party. And she clocked that at Rory's birthday party. He came to the hospital. That was a big moment where she was like, what's going on here? And she says that he's the lead in every story you tell. You go to the diner every day. I've seen how you look at each other. I'm not a fool. Now I'm asking if you have respect for me as your mother. Do you have feelings for this man? And Lorelai says, I don't know. Maybe I do.
She admits it.
Emily says, good. Thank you. I'm glad you were finally honest with me. And now we can discuss what on earth you could possibly be thinking. So it's like, oh God, okay.
Like, I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah. We flash back to Stars Hollow. We see the town troubadour again, walking around playing guitar. And we see that Luke and Lorelai picked up a bunch of paint supplies, tons of paint brushes and tarps, and they're ready to go. And they plan to do it on Friday. And she says to Luke, well, I'm going to try and get out of dinner early since it's a special occasion. And then they plan on it. I feel like it was almost like she was planning a date.
It felt that way.
Right?
Me.
It felt that way to
Just
me.
The way it was discussed.
Yes. She's like, okay, maybe I will pursue this a little bit more. We'll see where this goes. At that point, Rory meets up with her and they're talking about plans. And then a guy with a motorcycle comes rolling through Stars Hollow. Taylor appears out of nowhere and he's like, motorcycles, they're a scourge. I hate them. But Lorelai loves the bike. Rory asks if it's a Harley, and Lorelai says no, it's a 2000 Indian 80 horsepower 5-speed close ratio with an Andrews transmission. Is that right? I don't know.
Sure. I didn't write down the specifics. I just knew
she
it was
wants to get one.
and she knew what it was.
I didn't know if she was that into motorcycles, but apparently she is. Rory's like, no, you can't have that because you will die. And they go to leave, and the guy with the motorcycle pulls up and says, hey. And they turn around, and he says to Lorelai, nice shirt, take it off. What? Excuse me? What the fuck?
It's like, okay, get out of here. What?
And even when you discover who it is, it's like
that's not what you say in the middle of the street. I don't know.
It's not. And like, knowing this person, I'm like, I don't even understand why this was said as like his first line. Like, it just like... It was like, wait, what? It was just shocking. Very shocking. Pulls off his helmet, and Lorelai says, Christopher, Rory's father has come to town. We are meeting Rory's father for the first time. Christopher Hayden. That is the character. That is Rory's father.
I wasn't expecting
him
to show up.
Was this kind of crazy?
At all, in this show at all, actually.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't even think about that. Like, I never thought, like, oh, maybe Christopher will show up one day. Like,
he showed up.
I thought that he, like, well, I don't know. I haven't watched the next episode yet. That he lived in, like, California or somewhere far from
I think they do mention that. So Rory's father has come to town. Rory runs over, gives him a big hug. Taylor comes out again and is just staring him down. And Rory's like, oh, yeah, that's Taylor Dozy. He runs the market. He knows all and sees all. And so Lorelai says, so what's with just showing up? And Christopher says, well, my folks are back in Connecticut and I'm here to see them. And I thought on the way I would stop by and surprise the Gilmore girls. Are you surprised? And Lorelai's like, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
You've not really been around. But Rory wants him to stay with them. And Lorelai's just like, I don't know. But Lorelai agrees that Chris can stay with them for a few days. And then Chris wants Rory to hop on his motorcycle. And Lorelai's like, no, hop off of that thing. And he's like, hop on, hop off. And in the end, she agrees. And Chris and Rory ride off on the motorcycle. That was okay. I'll be like, but,
yeah, that's not dangerous at all.
Not dangerous at all. And so they ride off, and it ends on Lorelai shaking her head, being like, Christopher. And you can see Taylor in the background, just like, watching. And it fades to the credits. This episode is kind of crazy.
A lot of stuff happens in it.
A lot of stuff happens in this episode, and this being the ending is like, whoa. Wait, where is this going? Like, I don't, did you feel that way?
Yeah, I kind of.
Yeah.
And all of the characters, I'm like, what is, like...
This was...
It's like Christopher's in town, but also the Luke stuff, I don't know, is kind of maybe something's happening there. Also, I don't know how I feel about Rory's relationship at this point.
With Dean?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of like uncertainty and just turbulence almost. Like
there's turbulence. There's turbulence because, there's this Lorelai and Luke situation going on that's been building for a few episodes now. We talked about it in like a lot of episodes. It's going to be something. When is it going to happen? It's building. They were the closest to potentially doing something. And now she's maybe trying to push it a little bit more. But now Christopher returns and it's like, who is that?
I do not know anything about Lorelai and Christopher, like their dynamic at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they are going to like get along and be like friendly. Or if they're going to be constantly like fighting. I honestly don't know because I have not seen anything of him except for that scene with
That's true.
motorcycle.
That's true. You only seen that little piece.
Yes. I just don't know. I don't know if it's gonna like reignite this old like he's trying to get back together. Like I don't know anything.
Yeah.
He's like a wild card. So
a very
like,
wild
he comes
card.
in and it's just like, whoa. I have no idea.
It's a crazy way to end the
gonna
episode.
happen now. And clearly Rory likes him a lot.
I think it showed right there at the end that like, okay, they have a good relationship of some kind, even if it's not like a constant one.
Yeah.
They have a relationship and it's positive.
Yeah.
Let's recap the episode.
Okay, fashion. Well, besides the Donna Reed dress fashion
Oh,
out,
God.
that would be the obvious fashion out.
It was so intense. I can't even think of anything else in this episode. Like that's how I felt.
Okay, spooky moments. The Stalker Dean.
Yes, my spooky moment is Stalker Dean. He returns.
I think that's my spooky moment too. And also kind of her being like, what do you think of this dress? And just be like, this is weird. This is weird. Like,
so
what is
scary.
happening?
Just scary.
What about a wholesome moment? Like, was there
one? Babette and Rory got a new cat.
Yeah,
that's my
so
wholesome thing. Wholesome, they got a new little kitten. He was a cute little kitten. And I loved him because he was cute.
And romantic analysis, we already talked about. So I'm going to move on from that. Quote of the episode, best quotes. My favorite one is say something, trick or treat. That's my favorite.
My quote is the painting song, which I will recount again.
Yes.
Grab your brush and grab your rollers. All you kids and all you bowlers, we're going painting today. Yeah, that's my quote of the episode. So there's another person playing the forks. Grab your brush and grab your rollers. There's no way they didn't have to do multiple takes of that, like without someone laughing.
They're all like cracking up.
Yes.
Probably. Yeah, probably. All right, and predictions. I'm just going to focus on Christopher's going to be in the mix, and the next episode's going to focus on him.
Yes, well,
he's going to be in town for at least
the next episode title is called Christopher Returns.
Okay,
so
that's obvious. Okay.
That's obvious. We're going to learn more about Rory's father in the next episode. What are your predictions on like his involvement in this show?
Let me think. There's a couple things that could happen now. Like I said, before this episode, I honestly didn't think he would even come up at all.
Right.
But now that they've introduced him, he might linger around and become this like, I don't want to call it like a love triangle because that's not really accurate, but like this person that's there, that's an option for her to be a partner for her long term maybe. It's so hard. I only have this one scene.
I know. I want to get your like initial raw.
My
like, what do you
initial
think?
raw thing is that he's going to be around for a few days and cause some emotions, and then he's going to leave.
Okay.
Then maybe he might come back another time. But that's my initial reaction of what's going to happen right now.
Okay. What are your predictions about Rory and Dean?
I don't know. Their relationship just feels kind of like lackluster to me at this time. Like it's not anything, there's nothing special about it. Like it feels already like just kind of like they're together, but it's just kind of like, okay. Like it's just, there's no like passion. There's no like spark or like passion portrayed lately with the two of them. Like they're just kind of like there is what it feels like to me. Because it's feeling like that, it seems like their relationship is subject to some kind of just one argument, like going too far. And then they're just like, we should just take a break. Like I feel like that could happen. I almost felt like that might happen with this stuff, with this Donna Reed stuff.
Yeah, it was
when I
teetering there. Yeah.
Like the episode was called That Damn Donna Reed, right?
Yes.
I actually, when I started watching it and I saw that they were arguing, I actually thought like, oh my gosh, are they going to break up over this? Like, is that why it's called that?
Oh, yes.
That
right.
I had that thought.
That could make sense. Sure.
Like I thought it was going to be
anything.
like
Yeah.
Donna Reed caused us to break up.
That damn Donna Reed. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That. So
my mind is already like, I don't know.
Yeah.
How much longer this is going to keep going right now. Because there's not, I don't know. Like, yeah, there's no like spark special moment things. It seems like it's more just like this challenge is happening. And then they get through it, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, it needs this other element too. It needs that like
the
passion,
relationship
spark, excitement.
Yeah, has had some turbulence.
Yes.
A lot of turbulence along the way.
I could see them breaking up.
Do you think they're going to break up in this season?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we got a few episodes left. Like, there's not.
We got like 6 or 7 left to go.
That's plenty of time.
Okay.
I think they will actually break up in this season.
Very interesting.
Based on how things are going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. All right. It's going to be fun to see how this all unfolds.
You told me before, you were like, you're not ready. Now, I keep thinking about that. I'm like, what is going to happen? Like,
I know.
I just want to know what happens.
And you have no
I have
idea
to
what I'm alluding to with that.
I know. I have no idea. I literally have no idea. And I'm like watching this show at this like painstakingly slow pace because I can't binge it. I have to watch one episode and then like sit and like reflect on it for like a long time. So
I think when the you're not ready moment happens, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I
Okay.
will not tell you.
I don't want you to tell me
Obviously,
anything else.
so
I just
I'm not-
want you to know that I remember that you said that.
Okay. Well, that was episode 14. And next we're going over episode 15, Christopher Returns.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And if you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to us on whatever platform you're listening on.
And if you guys are liking our show and want to support us, head over to buymeacoffee.com/sistersandstarshollow. The link is in every episode description. We love hearing from you guys. Hit us up on there.
Until next time,
Keep the coffee flowing.